So I'm going to be doing some work at the sugar beet harvest. Thought I'd bring you guys wet. Maybe it's something that you'd be interested in. I'll let you know how it goes for me, and maybe you guys will want to do something like this next year. And I think I'm going to be staying right at the Senex gas station. Or maybe on this side of the road. I don't know. Yeah. Check out the campers. That is where I'm going to be staying. Welcome home. Well, the second day here is pretty simple. All I did was come into West Fargo and just went through an orientation, watched some videos. Pretty simple, it takes about an hour. With the combines, they take over the whole entire road. See if he's moving over for me or for someone coming down the road here. Well, I took the camper out of the truck. This is going to be my setup for the next couple of weeks. I've camped before with the camper outside of the truck. I've never had an issue with it. This time, could be up to a month. Bad news is I'm right on the highway, so it's really not like we're camping. It's more like we're just stuck in a parking lot, pinned up right next to our neighbors. Definitely going to be quite the experience. They do provide a 30 amp and a 50 amp service here. Each camper does have their own spigot for water, but unfortunately the arsenic levels in the water make it unsafe to drink. This year it's been hot in Minnesota. Temperatures have been up mid 80s, even close to 90. So I don't think we're gonna be working anytime soon. So in the meantime, what I might do, just explore the area a little bit, see what this place has to offer. I'm really hoping that we get to work sooner than later though. Well, it's been a few days. Still the temperatures are just too warm to be stacking beets. So I decided to take a little bit of a road trip. I came across these small towns that all had granaries, and they're really cool to look at and all, but it's this and fields. Not a lot to look at. Let's go check out this town. We might have some cool stuff here. See what Hillsboro's got to offer. This is a perfect sized town. It's probably about 2,000 people or so. Yep, it's about the size of town that I enjoy coming through. So this is cool. They got a retired Burlington Northern caboose. Pretty cool. So I wonder if this is how they transported their workers. The best seat in the house, I'd imagine. Check out these, probably for hanging on while the train's going down the tracks. The old wood stove for the winter time. I bet this thing stayed nice and toasty in here. And if you get tired, you can take a nap. Cool. Done. Out of order. Out of order. Out of order. They got one working dryer here. It's an hour and a half remaining on that person's. Seriously, take an hour and a half to dry a load of clothes? Maybe I'll take my wet clothes to another laundry facility, if there is one, because that's ridiculous. Well, this is where I've been for about the last 10 days, and this camper's starting to feel like a jail cell. So the temperature's been sticking in the 80s. Looks like we're not going to be doing any work for at least another 5 days. There's no way I'm going to sit in this camper for 15 days straight. So I'm going to go back home, I've checked out this area as much as I could, and there's just not a whole lot to see. Plus, my camera's giving me issues. I've gone through 2 SD cards. If you guys can give me a tip on a good camera for YouTube vlogging, other than this GoPro, definitely let me know in the comments below. There's a state forest about 10 miles away from Mandy's house that I've never filmed at. So we're going to go check that out, because right now is a beautiful time in Minnesota. And I just am sick to my stomach thinking that I'm wasting it just sitting here in this camper.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go. So come what may. Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old.
This is what I would be missing next year if I decided to do the sugar beet harvest again. It's a tough trade-off because Minnesota only offers this for a couple of weeks out of the year. And this is my favorite time of the year for sure. The cool thing about Minnesota is this kind of land's everywhere. Parks, rivers, creeks, lakes, all over. You don't have to go very far. You'll find yourself a nice little walk. Well, I went home for about a week. Coming back up here, see what it looks like. I'll be interested to see if any of these guys decided to call it quits because of this long break, or if we have more people to help. Well, the good news is my camper is still standing. Nice. I'll definitely be giving you guys an update to let you know if I actually start work tomorrow or not. I hope so. This has been a long process. Morning. I'm going to show you guys what it is that I did here at the harvest. You can see me on the bottom right hand side of the screen. There I'm greasing the zerts. I've got 3 pilers to maintain. Each piler has probably close to 100 grease zerts. Once a day I grease them. Twice a day I go around and oil all of its chains. I use about 12 gallons of rock oil to oil all of the chains, and I do that twice a day. One of the cool things about my position is that I have the opportunity to do other jobs. So if someone needs a lunch break, I can step out onto the ground, do their work for them. Here you can see I'm unloading the sugar beet trucks, loading in the tear dirt, and then I'm just cleaning up the ground after that. And honestly, if you can stand on your feet for 12, 13 hours a day, you can do this job. It's really pretty easy. It's easy money too. This morning I get a job called being the cutter. And what I do is I just slice the beets. I'm looking for frost. It's been cold. It's been getting in the mid-20s at night, so we just want to make sure that the beets ain't frosting up. It's an easy job. Another notch on the belt. You get to do a lot of things around here. It's a pretty cool job. I'm enjoying it. So that's it. Just cutting into the beets, checking them out. All right. Every day, something new. Good times. So I'll be honest with you, the job, it's really not that hard. If you can sit in a deer stand for 12 hours a day in the weather,
I'll call you back when I'm ready. I got a whole bunch of computer shit to catch up on. And
perfect.
I'll let you know.
Sounds good. All right, well, that's it. I'm gonna eat some lunch, and I'll get back to you guys. This whole job is just a mindset, putting yourself in the right mindset. Anybody can do this job. You just got to be able to stand outside for 12 hours in the cold. Like I said, it's nothing different than deer hunting, fishing, duck hunting. If you guys can do that, you can definitely do this job. That's some crazy wind out there today. So where we're at, we're getting close to being done, which is a good thing. They've let probably 90% of the people go. Just a couple of us here. We got a few days. I'm not sure if this wind is going to shut us down or not, but hopefully I'm out of here soon. Fingers crossed. So I've been out working on the ground all day. This wind is really kicking our butts. So some of the other pilers shut down and we're running. But what's really cool is they're picking some of the beets out behind the truck. So I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. So they got the first machine out here that's called a topper, and what it's doing is it's taking the tops off all the units. The other machine is pulling them out of the ground and putting them in the truck. From there, they're going to go right to our pilers. This right here is what we've been stockpiling. These things come in all shapes and sizes. Some are big, some are little. Well, that's it. Last night, I am ready to go home. Tomorrow they're coming around dumping out the tanks. It's my last day. It's been long. Probably had about 18 days of working the harvest, and we've been here for 36 maybe, but I did go home for those 5 days. But I am ready to go home now. Thankfully, it's finally over. Well, we made it. So yeah, that was like 30 some odd days. I tell you what, I'm ready to go home. I think what we'll do is we'll check out the sites and see how the scenery has changed in the last month. I told you guys earlier in the video a couple of weeks ago that October is my favorite time of year. Well, we're into November now, so let's go see how the scenery has changed in Minnesota, get home, and kind of wrap this video up for you guys. The fields are definitely a lot emptier than they once were. Stuff's looking brown out there. The trees ain't as brilliant and as on fire as they once were. But all in all, I'm glad I went up to do the sugar beet harvest. If I've got that opportunity to do it next year, I might think about it. But right now, I gotta plan my next adventure because being up at that sugar beet harvest has got me going stir crazy. I'm happy to be home. Alright, that's it for this episode, guys. We will see you again next week. I got something cool planned. Until then, be kind, be honest. We'll see you down the road.